Hello, hello, hello. We are live with today's stream. So I'm just going to share that on all the social medias and then we'll hop into the game. It is Sunday morning. This is just an Animal Crossing stream, although we will be doing a second stream this evening for Sub Request Sunday. But for now, just doing some Animal Crossing, getting, buying turnips and all of our daily stuff. So let us just hop right in. And we're also only about 20 minutes late, which, honestly, for a Sunday, that is not too bad, especially as of late. Yeah, let's hop into some Animal Crossing. Alfonso. Yes. Trantor, November 7th, 10:21 a.m. 1 second. I need to reset the game because I forgot to change the time on my Wii for daylight savings time. I'm gonna turn off God, while I reset. Just give me a moment to do that. And yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just going to quickly settings. And thank you for that, host Astro. Much appreciated. Time. Okay. I'll actually put that back on. Okay. Sorry about that. And now let me just quickly do a thing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because of my Wii, it was really noisy when there's an actual disc in it. Because Animal Crossing can be played, you just need the disc to actually start it up. But because I reset, I needed to grab the disc again. Also, 1 second. No delay. Okay. November 7th, 9:23 Trantor. That's all good. Start with Slicer. Also, I realized something we forgot to do at the end of the stream yesterday, which was grab the stuff for my gyroid with Samantha. You don't remember that today, hopefully. I mean, it's not a big deal if it takes longer, but... Alright, fishing tourney. I was like, wait, what's happening? But yeah, fishing tourney doesn't matter too much. Okay, that's all good. Tom Nook. Okay, let us quickly check. Post office confirmed there should be a letter from Gabby to Slicer in there. But we just want to get official confirmation on that, and then we'll switch over to Rick. And there's our official confirmation. Awesome. Awesome possum. Okay. So, switch back. Or switch over. Not back, we haven't played as Rick yet today. Played as Rick yesterday, but today is a new day. Okay, good stuff. We are on our way. And once... And no new villager today. Because it's not been 24 hours since we played last. Or since we last got a new villager, I should say. Yep. There we go. I am Rick. Hear me roar. I sound like a dinosaur. Do I, though? Do I really? What kind of dinosaur? What do dinosaurs sound like? Fishing tourney is about to begin. Hear that, everyone? Do you hear that? Tom Nook is sitting around cactus. We got a Triceratops skull. Maybe I sound like a Triceratops. Plesiosaurus skull. Wait, that was a skull as well, right? Yeah. Can we get 3 for 3 on skulls? No, dinosaur egg. I mean, dinosaur egg would have included a full dinosaur, thus including the skull. It's kind of bitty moved. Okay. Awesome. Anything on here? D3. Yeah, we found that yesterday. It was just a pitfall. Nothing fancy. Nothing good. Just a pitfall. Okay. That's not us. Also, what we found yesterday was all 5 fossils, which means... Doesn't mean we're going to find all 5 fossils today, because one of the new ones for today could still... One or more could still be in, you know, wellhead spot. And here's the glowing spot. Yeah, what it does mean, though, is that we don't have any fossils that have been missing for multiple days. So that's always a good thing. Okay. Alright, fishing tourney. Fishing is awfully hard, honey. I mean, hey, Cupcakes, welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing? Freckles. Okay. So onwards and... Oh, and there's our first fossil of the day. A scratched heck up by your lizard. Oof. That doesn't sound fun. Okay. Hopefully it's not too bad. Good morning, Opal. Uromastics? Is that how that's said? Nails are literally like cat nails. Oof. I don't do laundry on Sundays. What? I just meant I wasn't doing my laundry today, Opal. I do my laundries on Mondays and Thursdays. It's a system that works out quite nicely for me. Okay. Eric, stop hitting the tree. Spiny-tailed lizards. We have aromastics because they're the only small vegetarian reptiles you know of. She's also adorable. I mean, that's the main thing, right? Being adorable. Weed. Alfonso down there. Okay, Carrie isn't in. She might be fishing. We didn't see her on this side of the lake, but she might be on the other side of the lake. Or she could just be wandering around somewhere. Either or. We'll know eventually. Okay. So need to keep our eyes open for Joan. Huh. Gonzo. You know, I've seen people sleeping in, like, outside their house, but I don't think not sure if I've seen somebody sleeping, like, in another acre than their house before. So that's interesting. Fossil number 2. How about you? Okay. Nope. This is Olive's house. Is Olive around here somewhere? All of the other reindeer. Oh, right there. Wasn't avoiding. What? What? What was that? Wasn't avoiding me on purpose? What? I've had something like that happen, like, after, getting certain fortunes from, Katrina, but just a villager apparently saying something like that, that's weird. Maple we already saw, she was by the lake fishing. 2 out of 3 essays done. Good stuff, good stuff. You are moving, you are grooving, you're getting it done. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask the turnip price today, because obviously today is the day we buy turnips from Joan, not the day we sell turnips to Nook. 10,900. Good stuff. Ooh, we're at exactly 42,000 bells. What do we got up here? A few random things. Nothing too interesting. Onwards and downwards we go. Where we'll stop, nobody knows. Okay. The dump, we got the one piece of clothing. I didn't see what the other thing was. Another piece of clothing. Okay. 2 pieces of clothing. We got the yellow bolero and the barber shirt. That'll be good for when we start up our barbershop quartet. No. I'm not joining anything that involves me having to sing. Okay, 3rd fossil. Got the 3rd fossil and we're still in the first quadrant. That's pretty dang good RNG. I mean, technically, like, when we get it doesn't matter so much. Oh! Right, Sahara's in town as well. Okay, so we have today fishing tourney, we have Sahara, and we have Joan. We have Joan because it's Sunday, Sahara at random, and fishing tourney because it's a Sunday in November. All sorts of stuff going on here. Okay, Gonzo we already talked to. So that's all good. Okay, done the first quadrant. On to the second. And we got our money rock. So we already got the glowing spot, now we got the money rock. That's good. Which, for the last little while, have been our main sources of money, but we're getting back into the turnip market this week, so... I mean, today we'll just be spending money, but during the week we should hopefully be turning a nice profit. Depends. See exactly how it goes. I guess also selling fossils is my other regular source of money at the moment. Oh, I didn't notice that weed. Hey, Gabby. What do you want to gab about? Huh? Village doesn't seem affected. Feels like the sun goes down at the same time every day. I mean, I guess maybe we're just close to the equator. Weather doesn't quite seem to match that theory, though. Although, who knows? Weather on this planet could work differently than weather on Earth. Oh yeah, Sahara, do I? Yeah, we actually already saw her. Okay, do you have anything lost? Anything lost? One. Okay. One item. What is it? Mayhaps may it be stationary? Oh, that's not too bad because I need some more stationery right now. Tile paper. Three full stacks at the moment, although we will, in theory, be using 2 sheets from the top one, as we do still have 2 more fossils yet to find. So assuming we find them, which obviously there's no guarantee, we might not find either of them, or we might just find one of them. But hopefully we find both, just because it's nice to find things. Oh, here's Joan. Speaking of finding stuff. No, I know exactly how turnip trading works, Joan. It's how I got him so rich. 74. Okay. $74. Good chance that this is where I'm going to be buying, although I do want to check what the price is in Praetoris first. But 74 is a decently low price, so good chance of that being what we're going to go for. Is Alfonso still up here? No. He might still be in the acre, might have just, like, crossed the river or gone up the... Well, let's just confirm that he didn't just return to his own acre. Okay, he didn't just confirm. He didn't just confirm. He didn't just return to his own acre. We have confirmed it. But he could be still in D3. Just might have crossed the river and or gone up the cliff. Weed. Weed, 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 weed. Okay. Mortimer. Oh, right, do I? Because it's fishing tourney. Today's a fall fishing tourney, Rick. Don't fish much myself, but I went and got my glasses so I can help folks spot fish. There's one, there's another. I do believe I have something for you. Yes, yes. Yes. Fishing trophy. Carry that around and it may bring you some luck. Who knows? It may help you hook a lunker. Horf. So, let's see here. Holidays. Or first furniture. Furniture. Here we go. So we now have the fishing trophy. Awesome. And then holidays. You know what? We know we can't get any actual new furniture from the fishing tourney anyway, so I'm just going to take that off the list and actually take this summer fishing tourney off the list as well. And I can also resize this to be a bit bigger. Awesome. So fishing tourney is done and dealt with. Currently, next holiday we need to do something for is November 11th, which is this Thursday. Officers' Day, when we get the police station model. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that means basically as long as I play at my normal time on Thursday, we are all good. Harvest Festival is the 25th. Okay, that's 2 weeks. Okay. Just keep it safe. I'll put it there for now. Fossil number 4. Just one more. Okay. Anyone buy the wishing well? The wishing well? The wishing well? Anyone buy the wishing well? Wow, Gonzo fell asleep again. Made it to the wishing well, though, first, before falling asleep. How are things? Everything is perfect. Trantor is a very livable place. I love that for us. Love that. Okay. Anything up here? Nope. Nobody, nope, nope, nope. All good. Excellent. Done quadrant 3, on to quadrant 4. Oh. Fossil number 5. We are alive. Unlike the fossils, they're dead. Long dead. That's why they're fossils. It's nice finding all 5 fossils without much difficulty. See how many days it lasts before... Hey Billy, what's going on? Earlier eyes are when I have to be, I suppose. Let's talk. Yes, I know, Billy, and you're not going to do anything about it. Billy, you have never picked a weed in your life. Ooh. Gift. Huh? Huh? Nope. I'm not gonna bother. That's gonna be too much of a hassle chasing after it. Okay, here's Alfonso. Alfonso, you're my favorite villager. Of course I remember your name. Let's talk. And I will bring the drinks. Okay. Anything? I guess at this point I'm just, other than talking to villagers. Okay, yeah, here's Carrie and Elmer. 1 second, I need to sneeze. So we talked to everyone who lives on that side of the river. Still need to talk to Jay, Freckles, Caesar, and Puddles, though. That all makes sense, and we need to check for any remaining weeds. Otherwise, we're pretty much done our exploration of the town. That's good. Hey, Jay. What's the good word? Something good is gonna happen today? Oh? Good stuff has already happened today, so... I mean, it was snowing the other day, Jay. But, yeah. Obviously, it's not... Snow isn't building up on the ground yet, but... It is starting to snow. Hey, Caesar. Ah, Caesar fell asleep as well. Oh no, Freckles we saw already, right? Freckles was also fishing on the other side of the lake. So then we just need to see Puddles yet. Right here. Awesome. And that's everyone. What's up? Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to push you around, Puddles. I'm just trying to walk over here and you were getting in the way. Okay. Town has been explored. Mail, some mail. Guess we'll mail 4 of these. I have to leave and come back in to mail the 5th. And yeah, then we'll switch over to Slicer again, just to get her mail. And then back to Rick and head over to Protaurus to check our stuff there, specifically and especially today, turnip prices, and then determine where we're buying turnips, and then buy a shit ton of turnips. Okay. Good stuff. And, oh, actually, let's first drop off the fishing trophy in my house so that that's done and I don't forget about it. Okay. I'll put it over here for the moment. Oh, I didn't actually take it out of the letter yet, that's why. For some reason I thought I'd already taken it out of the letter, and then I'm like, wait, where is it? I'll just put the chair over here. There we go. Yeah. We'll eventually move that trophy over into Slicer's basement, where we have other gifts from Tortimer and such, but... Okay, let's quickly switch to Slicer just for a few minutes, and then back to Rick. Save and quit. As you do. Save and quit. When you're through. Or, I mean, we're not through, but, you know. We just need to switch characters briefly. Slicer. Okay. Yeah, fishing tourney. I know. Just confirm we don't have anyone new, which, I mean, I'd be very surprised if we did. Confused. HRA. Just get that thrown away. And from Gabby. Okay, so we now have Gabby. Oh, well, I have Gabby living in our town, but have a letter to prove that Gabby has lived here. So let us remove her from the list of villagers we still need. Yeah, okay. And so that is 14 in here, so it should be 174 total villagers. Which makes sense because we were at 173. I think that's an increase in percent. Let me just confirm that. Calculator. 174 divided by 218 equals 80%. 80% of all the villagers in the game have lived in this town at one point or another. That is so good. And that also means, with the exception of music and NES games 100%ed, all of our percentages are in the, at least in the 80s. Obviously, music isn't even at 50% yet, but although close. One more song. And we pass the halfway point. And NES 100% of that still at 0, but you know, that is what it is. Okay, let's go back to Rick. And yeah. Okay.
Nintendo.
Yes. Rick. I'm just gonna keep the pairs I have on me. I'm just gonna keep them on and then sell them in Pretoris because I'll get slightly more money from them there than I would here. 1 second. Why am I? Oh, I think my mic button is getting a bit iffy. Oh. Yeah, it's all clothing there as well. That doesn't matter where I sell them. Ah. Okay. Yeah, sorry for that sneeze or that happened with the mic on. Pressed the mic and then the light was still solid, not flashing, so I pressed it again, it was still solid, and at that point I just couldn't hold it in, really. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Okay. go and find out. Find out what the turnip prices are like over in Pretoris. We had, what was it, 78 in Trantor? 74 in Trantor. And yeah, I just need to find out. I'm hoping, yeah, I'm definitely hoping we don't have a lower price here, because I'd rather be buying in Trantor today, both because of, you know, less travel involved, and then also because it's less travel back and forth to bring my money over, and then also the rain. Let's see how it goes. First, let's check this. Found that already. Oh wait, we need to do a complete sweep of the town to find Joan. So let's start over here and work our way through. What do we got in the dump? Chevron shirt and a green counter. Why does it need to count the green? Good question. Very, very good question. Okay. Let's go sell all this junk and also see what Nook has for sale today. So is there something? Drop my controller. I think there's something like glasses. Just smudge or something. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay. Brown paint. Not that it matters what color paint he has here, because can't buy paint for a roof in another town. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Just gotta accept that and move on with life. Oh, I just realized what I forgot to do. Rewrite. Gabby to this list. Okay. Oh, and here's Joan. That's nice and easy. No, I know already. Yeah, I just need to know the price. 100. Okay, awesome. So price here is 100. So that means Turnip Town is Trantor with a price of 74. Good stuff. Let's just check everything else we need to quickly check before heading back and buying our turnips. It's 10 o'clock, so we still have 2 hours in which to buy turnips. So 2 hours, 160 or 120 minutes divided by 5 full sets is 20 divided by 24. 24 minutes. Okay, per set. That's not too shabby. I mean, honestly, even better than that, because technically the last set can take me past noon, as long as I'm in the acre. Goings on is Sahara on Friday, right? November 12th. You have it marked down as Friday, right? Yeah. Awesome. And do you have anything lost here? lost, nothing lost. Okay, nothing lost, nothing gained. Let's go. Onwards and forwards we march. Till we can't march no more. I don't know where that came from. There's Joan again. There is Joan again. Wandering around and doing her thing. Selling turnips for lots of bling. Shiny spot gives me money, you see. Money for me. Okay. I don't need to stop at the Nooks again, so we can just head back. Straight back to Trantor. Oh. Hey, Tortimer. Yes. Ah, yeah. I like talking to Tortimer in the other town, in this town, stuff like that. Just like if you lived in this town, I'd be giving you this. You're an outsider, so we don't like you here. No. They like me, just not enough to give me free stuff. Well, him anyway. Okay. Also means, let's see, with a turn price here of 100, that means if we get a price spike here in Praetoris during the week, that'll be 800 per turnip, which is not too shabby. Meanwhile, in Trantor, 74, 576 will be selling price in Trantor if we get a price spike. Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Oh, thank you. Oh, 1 second, just have the thing telling me my software is up to date. Software that I haven't even used in like ages, because it's software that basically lets me use my PS3 controller. And the computer, like, you know, basically because you can hook up like an Xbox controller. And like PS4 and 5 controllers, just hook up to a computer normally. But with PS3 controller, this program allows it to correctly tell what buttons are what or whatever, you know. So you can link it up obviously with Bluetooth, but then the computer still needs to know understand what it's actually receiving. Okay, what do we got on who moved out? Did anyone move out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm not sure if anyone actually moved out. I mean, I'm just gonna draw my stuff off and then we're gonna go grab a bunch of money from the post office, so check then. I don't think anyone actually moved out, which is annoying when we have this many villagers. We want the number going down a bit. Yeah, no letter, so no one moved out. Okay. Okay, let's go find, Joan. Just going to... Oh. That was Maple fishing there before, but that was still Freckles here. The fact that, you know, both Maple and all of our bears like threw me a bit there, because I'm like, wait, what? Something looks different here. But, you know, it's fine. Okay. So now we just need to find Joan. And buy ourselves as many turnips as this can buy. And then do that 4 more times. If you were Joan, where would you be? I mean, we're going to be checking just every acre in order as per... Ooh, almost missed her there. Awesome. And we start on the purchasing of the turnips. And yeah. So the full inventory is worth the money. That's what buys me what I call a full set of turnips. So, full set of turnips, the exact amount that'll be will vary from week to week depending on the price of the turnips, but it's always whatever, yeah, full inventory is worth the money buys me. I like to buy 5 full sets on Sundays. Obviously, we've not been doing that recently. Well, we did... Most recent weeks we haven't been doing it at all. One or two recent weeks we tried, but then failed to actually turn a profit. But today we are... Excuse me. Today we are back to it, and this week hopefully we turn a profit, or at least, you know, sell it for not too much of a loss if we get to Saturday and haven't sold them yet. We'll see how it goes. And yeah. So basically during the week what I do is if I got a price spike, as soon as I get a price spike in one of my towns, I sell. If I got a price spike in both towns, I'll sell in the one that you know, has a bigger price. So like if we got a price spike in both towns right now, I'd be selling in Pretoris, because the price spike there means 800 bells per turnip, whereas the price spike here means 576 bells per turnip. You know, bit of a difference. Where do I want to draw my turnips here? You know, we'll just start right over here. Okay, let's grab another 3 bags. And where did John go? Right here. And yeah, and then if we get to Saturday and we haven't sold them yet, then I'll just sell in whichever town gives me more money, even if it's not a price spike. And like, you know, so I ideally get a price spike, so you get a massive increase. Get a Saturday and you haven't sold, and then obviously then you have to sell them, or they just go bad and you got nothing. So then it's like, okay, hopefully, if you haven't sold them before Saturday, you still get a price spike on Saturday. If not, hopefully you still at least get something of a profit. If not, hopefully you at least don't have too much of a loss. And yeah. That's all just about playing the odds. Because if you do this, you know, week after week after week, because like individual weeks, you might lose. But if you keep doing it with this strategy consistently, spending a consistent amount of money each Sunday and following that strategy, overall your money will grow by leaps and bounds. And that's what we need to do to get the post office model. Which, you know, one of only 60 pieces of furniture we still need. And yeah. And that number is... the number of pieces of furniture we still need is going to be dropping by quite a bit in the next 2 months. So, we start concentrating on some of those things like that. Okay, grab another 3. And Joan, here you are. Yeah, we're at 10-12. As long as we finish off buying this first set by what? Do it by 10:24, like, we're really good. Let's see, as long as we get it done by 10:30, like, yeah, that means we are well on our way to getting 5 full sets today. And we actually started only 20 minutes late today. I know, like, a lot of the times where I start like an hour late and I'm still able to just barely eke out 5 full sets, so fingers crossed. So, not even fingers crossed, just, yeah, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue today. See exactly how it goes, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay. Bag is full. Actually, don't want to be blocking off the Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does not like being blocked off. So then we'll drop one more over here. And put there. We won't grab those last 3 bags quite yet. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And once we get everything, we'll have everything. That was kind of a whatchamacallit thing where you say something that just is what it is. Yeah. So what do we think is the next thing that's going to reach 100% on my percentage list down below me? Furniture is going to take till a minimum of August 12th to finish. So that's unlikely to be the next thing at 100%. Wallpaper... wallpaper will honestly should be Christmas Eve. Same with carpet. Clothing... that's hard to say. It's going to take at least until, is that what Animal MC is? Like, you mean main character? do you mean like Master Chief? Master Chief, I mean, either way, the answer will be human. Also, welcome in, Jen's Duck. How's it going? How are you doing today? Okay. Main character. Yeah, main character in here, a human. Now our pick up all of our money there. So now it's just going. I mean, we'll still fill up our inventory on terms a couple more times before we actually run out of money. But yeah. So what was I saying? I've been saying something. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we're talking about when stuff's gonna be. So clothing at minimum will be completed. What is it, like November 27th, 28th? Whenever the winter clothing starts being available. But even after that, it's pretty much down to RNG of when I get the stuff that I actually need. Items. It's possible that could be completed on sale day, which is Black Friday, whatever the date is for that. Terms will go to Moon. Alan Tusk, Jones' brother. Hugh, what? I get the Elon Musk reference you're making. I'm not quite sure what exactly you're meaning, though. Okay, let's see here. Items. Yeah, stationery. That'll be completed January 1st. Gyrides and falses are already complete. Music, I mean, as long as I keep playing every Saturday, it'll be another 28 weeks. Villagers. What is it? How many short am I? 26 plus 18. 36. 44. 44-ish days. Well, days I get a new villager. Sundays usually I won't, so we'll say 44 divided by 42 divided by 6 is 7. So I'm gonna say 8-ish weeks, assuming we play regularly. Okay. And then fish and insects are already complete. NES games 100%. That's just going to be down to me playing them enough and getting good enough at them to 100% each of them. The whole stock, he says it controls the stocks. What controls the stocks? What's it? The moon? What? Or... Hey, not pro yet. Welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing? How are you doing this fine Sunday? Fine? Okay, okay. Up to anything interesting this weekend? Okay. Nothing interesting. Well, why not? You don't have to do anything interesting if you don't want to. Okay. I mean, you are here right now. I'm just buying turnips en masse, so, you know. Okay. I think we'll probably still fill up our inventory at least once more before running out of money, but I'm not entirely certain. It can be hard to estimate sometimes that I don't feel like actually putting in the work to do the math on it. We'll find out soon enough anyway. Buy 100 and 100 and 100 more. Until we've bought every 100 we can afford. And before you know it, we'll be richer than Nook. Except not really, because, you know. So we buy her the turnips from Jim. So Jim gets rich from, you know, selling us the turnips. We get rich from selling Nook the turnips. Nook is just already rich. So, you know. In part due to me, because I have spent a lot of money at Nook's, but... No, I mean, with the money I've made from selling turnips to Nook, I've definitely got more money from Nook than I've given to Nook, so... That does bring up questions about just how Nook got so rich. That he's able to, you know, give me so much, able to get so much money from him for said turnips, or from, yeah, for said turnips, to spend on more turnips. I mean, we all know how Nook got rich. We all know that the store is just the front, so he can launder the money he made through his illegal gambling ring. That's something we all know, right? Okay. Yeah, I think we should be good now on... Oh, did you not know that? According to the illegal gambling ring? True story, I made it up right now. I mean, what? Yeah, I think we should run out of money here now before we fill up our inventory again. Not completely certain, but fairly certain. And then we can figure out exactly how many turnips we ended up buying with full set. mean, not that we really need to know the exact amount. Although, I mean, what would allow us to figure out how much money we'll make. Because obviously figuring out how much money we'll make if we sell here in Praetorius is pretty easy. You just take the amount of money I spent and multiply it by 8. Dominic is the only shop around. He pretty much has a monopoly on the town. I mean, yeah, but, you know, not exactly a massive town, so... Well, he may get, like, reasonably wealthy from it. He's not going to get, like, ridiculously wealthy from it, as he clearly has. You know. Because he has, like, at best, what, like... What is his customer base? Just give me a second. When I finish this, I'm gonna... Anyway, we have, like, 4 human villagers. At the moment, have 13 animal villagers, so that brings us up to 17. 3 post office workers brings us 20. Mayor brings us 21. Able Sisters brings us to 23. Captain 24. Police Dogs 26. The Train Monkey 27. Blathers 28. Yeah. And I mean, account for the fact that occasionally visitors or whatever, we'll say about 30. Like, I mean, if we had a full town, I guess it would be 30, because we have 15 villagers. So he has like 30 customers, I guess, not accounting also. Technically, I guess his nephews, while they would make money there, they'd also spend money there, so. But yeah, about 30 customers. That's not going to make you, like, on its own. Not going to make you, ridiculously wealthy. It'll make you reasonably wealthy, but still limits. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, then minus 17. Minus 1 to be 17. 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25. Oh, 25. So 25 times 3, 75, and then minus 1 for this tree. So, 7. So we have... 74 turnips. Well, it says 100 turnips. So... calculator. 74... 8... Yeah, times... Wait, that's not right. Okay, let me think here. 74, each one is 100, so 7,400 times 800 equals... No, I'm failing at figuring out this math. Did I count this upright? So 74 sets of turnips, or packs of turnips or whatever, which times 100, 4 times 100 equals 7,400, and we could potentially be selling them for 800 a piece. Gives me just under 6 million. That doesn't make sense. No, that makes sense. That's, yeah, for this 1 acre doi. Times 5 is what it'll be for once we're done. Yeah, so 20, so just under 30 million. That makes sense. That makes sense. I was doing the math right, I just forgot the extra step of, oh, that's just what I'm getting for the turnips here in this acre. Okay. So we do 5 more acres, and then, yeah. Let us go and, let's see, so this is D4. Keep track of where we're keeping our turnips. And all that jazz. And then let's go buy some more. Let's go withdraw some more money to buy some more turnips. And yeah, because we need 5 full sets. Which yeah, basically if we if we end up selling the turnips here in Trantor, we'll be getting just if we get a price spike here in Trantor and sell them, we'll be getting just over 20 million. If we get a price spike in Praetorius and sell them there, we'll be getting just under 30 million. And this is from we'll be spending a little over 2.5 million because, you know, this, you know, what I have on me right now is just a little over 500,000, and we're going to be already done 1 acre. We'll be doing it 4 more times, total of 5 times. And yeah, that's the way you do it. And then we just need to make sure to actually be, you know, playing every day this week, at the very least, until we've sold them. Obviously, once we sell them, that doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, play every day. As soon as you get a price spike, sell them. Preferably sell them in Praetorius. Well, see, it's a complicated thing where, yeah, selling them in Praetorius will get us a lot more money, but it'll also take a lot more time. So it would depend on, like, the day. Like Monday, I would rather sell them. Monday or Tuesday, I'd rather sell them here. Wednesday, I'd rather sell them in Praetorius, because then I have the time. Wednesday, Thursday, rather sell them in Thursday, Friday, rather. I mean, really, Wednesday, I guess, is the only day I'd really rather sell them in Praetorius and make the extra money. Obviously, any day I get it, I will. You know, if I get a price back in Praetorius first, I will sell them there. And if I get the price back in both the same day, I will still sell them there. But just because I'm getting extra money, but yeah, because the problem with like Monday or Tuesday is I have to work the next day, so you know, don't want to be getting to bed at a reasonable time and all that. Wednesday's fine because I don't work the next day. Thursday and Friday again, work the next day. And then Saturday, just because we'll be starting later, so we'll have less time. But we'll see how it goes. Who knows, maybe I'll luck out and be able to leave work early this Saturday. I mean, last week Saturday, gotta leave early because there just wasn't anything to do. Yesterday I ended up working an hour earlier, ending an hour earlier than originally scheduled, just because it was like talking to my manager the previous day. He's like, hey, do you want to come in an hour earlier? I'm like, yes. Yes, definitely yes. Such, so. All worked out. There's Sahara, but we're looking for Joan. Yeah. There was also not really enough work yesterday, but... Oh, here we go. Still went the full 8 hours yesterday. I just spent most of the shift in the back, just condensing and getting stuff organized and such. Which honestly is what I'd rather be doing on, especially a Saturday anyway. Oh, we also had like, it was also fairly easy yesterday, because like we had so little stock for whatever reason. But, you know, like, by the time I left, there were like, I think 3 boxes of tomatoes left in the back, and between all the varieties we carry of tomatoes, there were just 3 boxes total left of, I think, 2 different varieties. So like 2 in 1, 2 boxes of one box of another, and it's just like, yeah. I'm pretty sure those would have gone out on the floor by the end of the day. So many other things as well. I was just like, why do we not have this in? But, and certain other things where it's just like, why do we have so much of this in? I mean, I know. Well, part of it is that, you know, a lot of the ordering these days is done automatically, and while I am in a lot of ways in favor of stuff being automated, automation needs to work properly. Otherwise, you know, it's like, well, otherwise it just causes other issues. But then, also, you know, just at times where Warehouse will send us stuff we don't even order just because they have too much of it or whatever. And it's just like, well, yeah, because actually, like, so I'm in produce, but I also do bulk or whatever, right? And I mean, bulk, I'm the only one that does. Generally, the way it works is my schedules are generally for bulk, but then I'll do when I finish in bulk, I'll go over to produce for the rest of my shift. But yeah, in bulk, we actually got in a bunch of stuff that we don't even carry anymore. We haven't carried in, like, I don't even know how long at this point. Ages. And, yeah. Pretty sure it's because some other stores have still been carrying it, but they've now stopped, so now that Warehouse just needs to get rid of everything, I think, is my assumption. But it's just like, okay, so now I have to deal with all this stuff that we don't carry anymore, and... Yep. But... It's what it is. Gave me a lot to do there on Wednesday and Friday this past week, so I didn't really have to go over to produce. I mean, I had to go over to produce a bit on Wednesday just because of otherwise there was an hour there where there was like very little coverage in produce, so I went over there and, you know, basically like, to the way the schedules lined up where somebody left and then, you know, another person came in an hour later, or scheduled to come in an hour later. Like, I honestly don't understand what's going on with the schedule of my job these days. It's just so random. But, you know what it is. So, everyone else, how's everyone else? How's everyone else's weekend and week been? Anyone see anything, read anything, play anything interesting recently? I actually just finished watching Runaways on, there's a balloon floating by. I'm not going to worry about it because we leave the acre, Joan, and we'll move to another acre, so I don't have to worry about that now, but interesting. said, I was recently finished watching Runaways. So I'm now caught up on watching all of the TV shows set in the MCU. Just in time for me to get behind on watching all the movies, since Eternals just came out and I am unable to see it this weekend. Hopefully I'll be able to see it before too long. First MCU film I didn't see opening weekend, which kind of makes me sad, but is what it is. Currently trying to play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Oh nice, how's that going? How's that going for you? Okay. It's updating. Ah. Slow update. Okay. I know I've definitely had that at times where I'm going to play a game on stream or something, like, you know, a recent game, like a modern game, or like on Switch or Wii U or whatever, and it's like, okay, go to load it up, and it's like, update. I'm like, oh, should have checked this before stream. Although, I don't think I've ever had too much of an issue. It's generally been fairly quick when I've had to do that. But older games, it's just like, oh yeah, you pop in an NES cartridge. You're not going to have an update. NES doesn't have online. I mean, in Japan, there was like... In Japan, there was something that allowed the NES to use some kind of... Or the Famicom, as it's called there, to use some kind of online thing. It's actually the funny thing with people always talking about how Nintendo is like, you know, so out of date on so many online things, which, yeah, like, they are, like, you know, but it's funny because of the fact that, like, Nintendo had some kind of online features for all their consoles, like NES, SNES, N64, although those were only in Japan. Then it was with GameCube, that was the first one that actually had online, like, it came, you know, came out internationally and such, although only a handful of games and such. But it's just like, yeah, they did, it's just kind of interesting, because they did keep trying to do kind of online features. It's just, I think because of the fact that the stuff with their earlier systems didn't, like, fully catch on, is why, they're hesitant to go too fast with online stuff, with more recent systems and such. But, you know, it's slowly changing. Although, plus side, you know, them being hesitant to do online stuff means with all these companies experimenting with using NFTs for gaming, at least that's something Nintendo hopefully won't be getting in on anytime soon. Okay. Let's go. Oops, my bag is full. The bag be full right now. Wait, how's there not one over here? That's weird. I think, yeah, now we're going to go grab the last 3 bags and continue on. 10:46. Okay. I forgot to actually check the time. What the time was when I finished buying from Joan in D4. Does anyone remember what the time was? And you can even say just in your own local time if you do, because like I just need the minutes. The hour isn't really relevant because I know the hour was 10 a.m. So it was 10 something a.m. But hey, I actually feel like garbage. Oof, sorry to hear that. Anything I can do to help? Okay. Well, also good use of the rip emote. Don't see people using that one too much. Which... Stomach issues. Oof. Sorry to hear that. That's always rough. Okay. Hopefully they don't last long. Oh, the hundreds of turnips. Joan, let's keep at it. Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering what time I finished buying from her in D4 because, you know, just getting an estimate of how long it takes me to, you know, buy a full set of turnips like this. So I kind of estimate when I'll be finished. But yeah. Like, well, definitely, we almost assuredly will have enough time for 5 full sets. Just curious how much leeway we'll have on that. Because, yeah. This also where it is kind of nice when, like, the turnips are a bit pricier. Because, oh, thanks, Iron Yoshi, and I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, because, what was I saying? Turnips. Because when, like, it's say 100 some or whatever, like, you get a lot more, or you get, because it takes more money to buy turnips, you get less turnips for the same amount of money, so it goes a lot faster. But, yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. You're definitely gonna be careful when I end up selling these turnips, that I'm careful that I don't miss any. Because I could definitely see myself missing some in this acre behind the trees and in the bush there and such. Something I'll have to keep an eye out for. Won't be too big an issue, though. Okay. And fingers crossed that... Yeah, fingers crossed that we got a price spike in Pretoris on Wednesday without having got a price spike in Trantor first. So obviously we get a price spike in Trantor like tomorrow or whatever, and we don't also have one in Pretoris. We're just selling them in Trantor, right? We're not. While we are, you know, counting on getting a price, semi-counting on getting a price spike, we're not counting on getting a price spike in both towns. And yeah, well, yeah, Pretoris means close to an extra 10 million. It's, yeah, still not something we can count on getting price spikes in both. Yeah, this is one of those times where you can really notice that those trees are not actually 3D images. You can really tell that they're flat. Like zoomed in like this. Okay. Which is probably one of the reasons they don't let you change the angle in this game outside of... you can change the angle in your house, and I think that's it. Well, in houses. Like, not just your house specifically, but... Okay. Now the final countdown. We've done this acre, this full set of turnips. Yeah, the character models are definitely 3D because they, you know, turn and such. I mean, you can still do a 2D model that can turn and look 3D. You just then need to be making a 2D image for each angle they can be at, which, like, I'm pretty sure that's what Super Mario Kart does on the Super Nintendo. I think Mario Kart 64 might even do that. But the thing is, with Mario Kart games, there's only so many angles you need to do, because, like, a lot of the time, you're... I mean, you kind of do have to do... Well, I guess because you do occasionally spin out, I suppose, but... I think because of the spinning effect, you can kind of... You can use some tricks to make it easier. But, yeah. Okay. And otherwise, like, it's... just like back angle and like a bit of turning angles. Okay. It's always interesting, like, the tricks developers use for games and such, which, you know, you don't even realize how they did certain things, or even that it was difficult to do, unless you're a game maker. You don't really realize, like, because when you look at, like say NES games, like early NES games like Super Mario Brothers, and later ones like Kirby's Adventure and such, just like the things that they did in Kirby's Adventure were things that they didn't know how to do with Super Mario Brothers, like, which is why the game looks so much better and such. Yeah. Or heck, like, big thing is like when Donkey Kong Country, when Rare was showing Donkey Kong Country off to Nintendo, Nintendo was looking under the table for like the hidden computer, or the people from Nintendo were looking under the table for hidden computer, because they knew what the Super Nintendo was capable of, and Donkey Kong Country was not something it was capable of as far as they were concerned. But Rare had figured out, well, what if we just load in pre-rendered graphics instead of having the game render it, the graphics itself. And that worked. Quite gloriously, I might add. Okay. The second game audio feels a little off. We've been at it for a little while. Yeah, there we go. What acre are we in right now? F4. Ooh, if we could get just like... Because we have turns for now in D4 and F4. If we could just get like... I mean, I don't think we can get in A4 anyways, just the others. B4, C4, and E4. That would be interesting. Okay, let's go grab some more money then and find Joan once again. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, I recently saw something actually about with Super Mario Brothers 3 where somebody got a new record for the tool-assisted speed run by basically getting to, you know, Peach's room and rescuing her before even starting up, like, well, starting up the game, but like, while on the title screen. The title screen. Basically, there's some glitch of the NES hardware, and then Nintendo knew about this, so that they, like, put in a way of avoiding it, which leads to, which, you know, mostly wouldn't matter, except that if you do some inputs, like, at the right time, the right way, you can basically, access code in such a way to just... it's tool-assisted. Like, it's something that there's no way you can do as a human, because you need to do just, like, tons of inputs in a very short amount of time, and such. But, yeah. I'm not even good at explaining it, apparently, as you can just tell. You have no idea what I'm even talking about, probably. Okay. Let's go. Let's find Joan. Okay, we're 10:59. Okay. $10:59 and all is well. 10:59, it's super swell. 10:59, a bug flew away. 10:59. Hope you're all having a nice day. Anyone here ever speedrun? I have done a bit of Super Mario Brothers, or not Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World. I've done 11 Exit, which I did one stream of, and All Castles, which I've done 2 streams of. So, like, not, you know, I think I spend a lot of time on. Because, I mean, the way I do speedrun streams is if, you know, you sub at tier 2, you can request... Oh, here we go. Here's Joan. So, not a 4 this time. Yeah, if you sub at tier 2, you can request a speedrun stream. If you sub at tier 3, you can request 2 speedrun streams. And obviously, I don't get, like, pretty much any tier 2 or 3 subs, which is completely understandable. I would not... I completely understand. I'm not... Cause I don't expect anyone to sub at all, let alone at a higher tier. But, yeah. Which is why I, as a result, don't do very many speedrun streams. Eventually, I may end up doing speed runs like during marathon streams, but that's not anytime soon. Because currently, the only games that are like eligible to, because basically I only speedrun games once I have 100% of them. So right now, like Super Mario World and Adventures of Lolo. But Super Mario World, if I'm doing a Mario marathon, like, there's so many Mario games I still need 100%. And I'd be working on each of those Mario games I've beaten but still need 100% before I would be going and doing a speed run that, you know, even if it's a 24-hour marathon, even if I spent only like an hour on each of the Mario games I've beaten but still need 100%, I still wouldn't have time for Super Mario World by the end of it. And then Adventures of Lolo, you know, that's not... I'm not doing a marathon stream of just one game. So basically, I need to have, for me to have a series eligible for one of my marathon streams. For a 12-hour marathon, I need to have beaten at least 4 games, so that I have, you know, 4 games to work on 100%ing and or speedrunning eventually. If it's a 24-hour, I have to beat at least 8 games in the series. So it's kind of, if anybody's curious how it goes. So like, as of right now, like, the only series that are eligible for that I'm eligible for 24-hour streams at the moment are Mario, Zelda, and Lego, I believe. There's a few others that are close, but I think those are the only ones that are actually for 12-hour. In addition to those 3, other ones are Super Smash Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog, Ninja Gaiden, Legend of Zelda, I said. That's 24 as well. What else? Mega Man, Pokemon. Yeah. A few others that are close. Kirby is close. Okay, I should say also 4 or 8 games that I can stream, obviously, because Kirby right now, games I can stream that I've beaten is Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Course, and Kirby Avalanche. So I just need one more there. Star Wars is close because we have the 3 Rogue Squadron games. Once I beat Knights of the Old Republic, that'll be eligible for 12-hour marathons. Yeah, Kirby would be if I could stream stuff on 3DS, because on there I also have Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Pinball Land, which I've already also beaten. I think it's just those 2. Yeah. But yeah. We just keep at it. And over time, more and more series will become eligible for my marathons. I always do like whichever of the eligible series, I do whichever one's been the longest since I've done it. So if, you know, a series that I haven't ever done as a marathon stream, then of course, if I have multiple that I haven't, then I can choose what order I do them in, but that's the only place where I actually have to make a choice. The next marathon stream I do will be Sonic the Hedgehog. And we do have one coming up. Like, we have a 12-hour marathon I owe for reaching 1,000 followers. I don't know when that will be. It's unlikely to be next Sunday. It's not today, because I didn't plan for it being today. Almost. No. I was going to say almost kind of regretting that now, but no. I was like, well, can I just change and do that today? But no, I don't want to do that today. If I planned for it in advance, then sure, but... Yeah, it won't be next Saturday, because of me working later than normal next Sunday. I mean, it won't be next Sunday, because me working later than normal next Saturday. Too high a chance of me staying up later on Saturday, and then gonna be already tired Sunday. probably won't be this month, I'm gonna say. Maybe next month. See how it goes. Oh, you know what? Might be... We'll see how December goes, but what I might do is actually do it on, 'cause Christmas is on a Saturday. So I might do it Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. Because that way, you know, I have Saturday there where I'm not working, and then I can do it the day after as, like, you know... Will this not be... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see if I can do it sooner. I might do it sooner, but... Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Normally I would have picked up 3 of these bags after the last section of buy from work. So I'm like, wait, something seems off with my inventory. Okay. And we'll see if I do end up being a Knights of the Republic before then it will be Star Wars instead of Sonic. If I end up getting a 3DS capture card before then, it'll be Kirby instead of Sonic. If both those things happen, I'll decide between Kirby and Star Wars. Something else happens. It's also interesting because, like, if I get a 3, or when I get a 3DS capture card, because I'm getting one, like, that's something that's happening, just when it happens. But yeah, that'll be a lot of series. Like Mario will get quite a few more games that I can stream. Zelda, Metroid. Well, actually, both Zelda and Metroid will actually right away be able to continue with them because the next Zelda game for me to play is Triforce Heroes on 3DS, which I already own. I've just been putting it off playing it because I want to wait till I can actually stream it. Next Metroid game is Metroid Fusion, which I have on the 3DS. It's a Game Boy Advance game. I have it through the Ambassador program. Because, yeah, people that bought 3DS within the first 3 months ended up getting 10 free downloadable Game Boy Advance games from Nintendo. Also 10 free NES games. NES games later got sold just regularly via the Virtual Console, but the Game Boy Advance games were exclusive to Ambassadors. What was I going to say? Then yeah, for Mario, I'll be able to actually... Well, main series I'm caught up on, but, you know, I will have some more that I'll be able to play then, like, for marathon streams or for sub-requests or whatever. Same thing with Legend of Zelda. Kirby, as already mentioned. For Mario spin-offs, like Mario Kart, I'll probably be able to move on to Mario Kart 7. Mario and Luigi, I'll be able to move on to Bowser Inside Story. Luigi Mansion, I'll be able to move on to Luigi Mansion Dark of the Moon, whatever it's called. Oh, Wario, I'll be able to actually start on the series because I have the first Wario Land on 3DS Virtual Console. Just trying to think in my head of other Mario series. Maybe Mario Maker. Next one would be Mario Maker for the 3DS, which I don't have yet, but at that point it'll actually be mean when I get it, I can stream it. it'll be really nice once I do get myself a 3DS Virtual Console, just like additional stuff. Because like main series Mario, that means like adding to the options for like sub requests as well as stuff that I could play during marathon streams. Super Mario Brothers, Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2, which I have on 3DS Virtual Console. Super Mario Land 1 and 2, which I have on 3DS Virtual Console. And New Super Mario Brothers, which is a DS game. New Super Mario Brothers, yeah, New Super Mario Brothers 2, which is a 3DS game. Super Mario 3D Land, which is a 3DS game. Really, at that point, the only main series Mario game I won't be able to stream, what I consider main series. Most people wouldn't even consider this main series, but Mario Clash for the Virtual Boy. And I guess I can't stream Super Mario Bros. 35 anymore because of the fact that the game, you know, shut down. Which still bugs me, because it's like, that's the problem I have with like online games like that, is like, oh yeah, company shuts it down, it's just done unless, you know, fans figure out how to bring it back somehow, which definitely has happened with stuff. Like I know Metamo, which was like the one of the first was the first like mobile app that Nintendo did, that got shut down, but fans have got that working again. I don't know the specifics of it, I just know that they have. Yeah, which I'll eventually look into, because as I work my way through the Mii series, I do actually need to get back to doing now that I think about it, because I do have my because the next couple things are actually some of the apps on the Wii, like the Everybody Votes channel and the, I think Everest channel was the next one I wanted to do, and that would just probably be a single stream of me like playing around with it, but because there's not gonna be much to beat it. You just go in and vote for stuff. But now that I have the homebrew set up on the Wii, I should be able to get that up and running again, because that's another thing that fans got running again and such, that after Nintendo shut it down. Yeah, fans have been working on trying to bring most of the online games for Wii and DS, giving them, because yeah, Wii and DS like servers were shut down by Nintendo a while ago, but fans have been working on getting so many of them up and running again, which is awesome. That's also why some of you may remember when I played Mario Kart Wii on stream. I actually played it most of the time when I play Wii stuff, I play it on my Wii U, just because it looks better. Because, you know, using HDMI, I don't have to go through my composite through HDMI adapter, which messes with the colors a bit, I find. Like looking at my TV and looking at my computers, looking at OBS and such, the colors look very different, what you're seeing on stream for what they actually are on my TV. Whereas if, you know, so that's why for GameCube I don't have it. I can play it on GameCube or I can play it on Wii. Either way, it's composite. But with Wii games, I can play it on the Wii U, and generally I do. But when I played Mario Kart Wii, I played that on the Wii, and that was because I wanted to like have that option if I want to eventually be playing it online. I mean, I could get the homebrew stuff on Wii mode on my Wii as well, but I think that takes a bit of extra work. I'm not sure. Could be wrong. I know it's definitely a different process. I just don't know for sure if it's a more difficult process or just a different process. But also, I'm a bit iffy on doing that with a system that, yeah, while in Wii mode it's not doing internet stuff, in the Wii U it still does stuff on the internet. And yeah, like Nintendo hasn't, I don't think, done an update for the Wii U in who knows how long, but I'm still kind of iffy on that just because of, you know, the worry, what if something happens. It's also why, like, I don't want, like, homebrew on, like, 3DS right now, or anything. It's actually, 3DS did recently get an update. I think it was just, like, a stability issues one, but, yeah. Because I do have a new 3DS, I could technically get, I could get something to like stream from it wirelessly, but I don't want to because I don't want to soft mod my 3DS at this time. Maybe someday, but not currently. Just to be on the safe side. Handful more. Then we're done this acre, and this is the third acre. Okay, we started this acre at about 11, I think. And it's now 11:18. So yeah, definitely have time to do 2 more acres here. No problem. Getting our turnips. And getting things done. Okay. It's going to be interesting. I just realized. Well, I mean, I've thought about this in the past, but once I've gotten to the point where Animal Crossing is eligible for this, my, like, you know, marathon streams, Animal Crossing games, because with Animal Crossing I'm working on like fully 100%ing it, not just beating it. Once I get, you know, 4 games that have been beaten but not 100%. I mean, I guess what I will technically have is, because I guess it'll be with New Leaf. When I'm working on that, because what I consider beating the game is just like paying off the final debt, right? So once I've paid off the final debt in New Leaf, but haven't finished 100%ing it at all, have, you know, 100%ed this one, Wild World, and City Folk. What's going to be the case then is that during Marathon, then, okay, I'll start with playing a bit of New Leaf, and then afterwards the rest of Marathon would be working on speedrunning other Animal Crossing games, since I have already 100%ed them. So that's something that'll be kind of interesting. But I am kind of looking forward to eventually speedrunning Animal Crossing. Still in the categories anyway. 100% speedrun for Animal Crossing, I mean, that alone, for this Animal Crossing, would be a more than a 24-hour stream. So that'd be interesting. It's like, okay, yeah, for today's 12-hour marathon, I'm gonna play a bit of New Leaf, and then I'm gonna go do a 100% run of speed run of GameCube Animal Crossing, which means this 12-hour marathon will actually be like 20 plus, probably even like 30 plus, maybe even 40 plus hour stream. I mean, what are like the times for it? Speedrun.com. Because I know like the record is like 20 some hours, but like, let's see here, 100%. Oh no, record is actually less than 20 hours. 19 hours, 25 minutes, 35 seconds. Second place is 24 hours, 8 minutes, 36 seconds. Then we have a run that's just over 30 hours, one that's about 38 hours, one that's over 51 hours, one that's over 61 hours, one that's over 70 hours, nearly 71. So yeah. That, yeah. But hey. Now, if I speedrun this Animal Crossing, like, first time I'd speedrun it, I would be starting with, like, just, like, the, pay off all debts run, which is kind of the any percent. Then go, like, you know, doing various other categories, like, golden shovel, golden... Because they have a category for each of the golden tools. Then they have a category for both the golden golden net and golden fishing rod. Then they have a category for like all 4 golden tools. They have a category for complete museum. Oh, they have a category called chores and credits, I think, which is I think just doing the initial... That's a faster category, so just doing the initial chores for Nook until he tells you he's done, and then getting a song from KK Slider to see the credits. I think that's it. And then, of course, there's the 100% run, so do 2 other categories first before the big one, the 100%er. Because a big part of the 100% Animal Crossing speedrun category is just time spent entering codes to Nook to get, you know, just all the things. C4. See, we have D4, F4, and now we're getting C4. It's too bad we didn't have B4 instead of B5. Okay, let's drop this money and get into it. And then we just need to do 1 more acre after this one. So as long as we get this finished by like 11:50 or so. I mean, really, we just need to like get this finished, go grab our last batch of money, and then find Joan again by like 11:59, and we're good. And her being in a good acre, because obviously if she ends up being like in like one of the like split acres, well, not any of them, like the ones that are like we're in like the really small split, like we're split by like the river and or the cliff, and if she's in one of the small sections, we won't have enough room for all the turnips on the ground. But aside from that, which, yeah, been fairly lucky so far today. Hasn't happened. In fact, she's been mostly in fairly wide open acres today. Like, I think B5, not B5, F4 is like the most limited acre just because it's on the ocean, so it doesn't quite go as like tall or whatever. I don't know, tall isn't the actual, anyway, but like, you know what I mean, like, you know, it's not like width-wise, it's still the same, like, you know, this way it's still full acre, but this way it's, you know, up and down like this, it's smaller because of the fact that it's the ocean that takes up part of it. Well, like, yeah, the ocean takes up part of the space. Okay. 3,399. Okay, where'd you go here? Yeah. So yeah, if we get a price spike in Pretoris this week, we're not quite gonna reach 200 million, but we're gonna get fairly close. We got a price spike in Trantor, won't get nearly as close, but we'll still get a lot closer than we are currently. Well, honestly, right now, like, what we need is, as long as we get, honestly, 2 weeks of, yes, buy, you know, my full amount of terms that I'd like to buy, and then selling them for a price spike, 2 weeks, and we'll get into the 200 millions. And just another 700 million to go. Well, no, merely 800 million to go. Not. Because I was thinking, like, you know, 2 to 9, 7, but it's like, well, no, it's, yeah, it's, because it's 999 million. So it's essentially, you know, a billion, just one short. But we'll get there eventually. Just gotta keep at it, and keep working on it, and we'll eventually get that savings account filled up, and get the post office model. And once we manage that, we'll have managed that, and we'll be one step closer to 100% of the game. Or if it takes us too long, we'll be at. If it takes us long enough that we've completed everything else by then, we'll just be at 100%. Although, honestly, as long as it's taking me to get all this money, I'm still expecting that to happen sooner than finishing all the NES games. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know, part of my, because there's 19 NES games in this Animal Crossing, and because I am who I am as a person, part of 100%ing this game for me, personally, involved also 100%ing all 19 of those NES games, and I'm fully expecting that's going to be the last thing that I'm going to be finishing off. Like, some of the NES games, I'm expecting to be able to finish off before finishing off, like, everything else, but I don't expect to finish off all 19 NES games before completing literally everything else. But we'll see. It's hard to say. Because, you know, keep at it, like, keep working at it, and we'll see how it goes. We're getting better and better at Balloon Fight. Like, that's one that I know will happen before too long. Donkey Kong Jr. Math, I know that's just a matter of doing multiplayer stuff. So, that's not bad. Other ones vary. Like, I know tennis, that one's not going to be too bad once I'm more, like, frequently working on it. That's the right thing right now. Like, the main one I'm concentrating on is Balloon Fight, right? Which I'm getting closer and closer. Like, then, like, the one I spend the next most time on is baseball, which that one's still a long ways away, but we're slowly getting better at that one as well, I think. Most of the others haven't spent nearly as much time on, but we'll get there. It's like, once we finish, you know, Balloon Fight, then we'll be focusing more on baseball with, like, you know, more occasional on, you know, the occasional time on Clu Clu, and then, like, you know, finishing off one of those, spending more time on, like, you know, the next one, and so on. And I mean, once we get, like, Clu Clu Land done, getting Clu Clu Land D done as well won't be like much additional. Like it'll like once because like while like the levels are different between them and like some other changes and such, the actual gameplay itself is the same. So like once I've mastered Clu Clu Land, like Clu Clu Land D shouldn't be too much more difficult. I'll already have like the skill base built up and such. Donkey Kong Jr. Those ones are going to be more sketchy. Long hauls, but we'll see how it goes. Donkey Kong 3, that one's honestly not as bad. Still going to take some definite time, but you know. For the yawning. Sorry for the talking. Sorry for apologizing for the yawning while still yawning. What else do we have? Excite Bike, still need to figure out all the specifics. Golf, still need to figure out all the specifics. Legend of Zelda and Ice Climber and Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers I still need to get. Mario Brothers and Ice Climber I need to get, you know, an e-reader and the e-reader cards to get them. Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers I still need to figure out how to get. But, you know, soccer I don't think that one will be too bad either, maybe. I don't know, I need to figure out... Well, no. Actually, no, soccer I need to figure out more about yet. Soccer, I might want to do something ridiculous like with baseball, where I want to get just like a perfect game of baseball 99-0. But soccer, whereas baseball doesn't have any kind of time limit, soccer has time limits, so doing a similar like score max out type situation isn't necessarily even possible in that game. I don't know. More research is required. Pinball requires more research. Wario's Woods, I mean, yeah, that one's gonna be a bit more. What's the word? There's a lot more. That one game is a bit more stuff to do with the game, like with different modes and such, and figuring stuff out. Kind of. But yeah, you know, keep at it and see where it goes. See where it leads. We picked up a lot of my money already, yes. Yeah. I don't know if I listed all the NES games, or if I missed any. Oh, Punch-Out! Punch-Out is definitely why I missed mentioning that one. Now I still need to figure out the exact specifics. Oh, sorry for the yawning again. I was up a bit late last night. Did help out, though, the fact that, you know, we had... As much as I normally hate time changes, getting the extra hour last night was really helpful, but... Except, if it weren't for that, good chance I would have started stream even later today. I started 20 minutes late rather than like an hour late like I have. Quite a bit. Anyway, be like, Eric, why don't you just, you know, officially change your, you know, schedule to like, you know, so that it is 10 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. Well, see, the problem is because of Joan. She's here till 12, and that's kind of why I chose 9 a.m. to give myself that 3 hours while she's here and such. Whereas... Oh. But, you know, as opposed to like my weekday streams where the reason there, like, I don't, because I'm fairly late with my like 3 p.m. streams, starting like at 11 or 4 p.m. or whatever. And the reason I don't change those, that's because the reason what frequently happens is that like basically I'm pushing myself to get as much stuff done before I start setting for stream. So what often is going to be the case is like even if I give myself that extra hour, I'm still going to be pushing myself and still probably going to be late, which I just need to work on getting better about being like, no, Eric, leave this, you can deal with this later, deal with this after stream, deal with this another day. And, you know, because it's tricky because, like, I understand that as a streamer that what's best is for me to have, you know, set schedules, like set time, schedule my stuff for set times or whatever, so you all know when to, you know, I'm going to be live when you, so you can better plan for, like, you know, coming and stopping by or whatever. But the way I like to schedule things is much more, okay, work on this until this is complete, or like, you know, work on this until I've gotten to this point of it or whatever. Like, it's much more task-based rather than time-based, the way I like to schedule my time. So it's tricky. I did just recently make some minor changes to certain things of how my off-stream schedule goes that I think will help with making it go a bit smoother. Problem is, like, what keeps happening, honestly, is I'll have a system that works, then my work schedule starts, you know, being different in one way or another, and then you know, I'll go back to like constantly having the late and or canceled streams, figure out something that works, implement it, have a good schedule for a little bit, work will again change something. It's just like the constant cycle. But, you know, it is what it is. Gotta have a job to make money to pay the bills, and with a lot of jobs, I mean, with jobs that I would have more consistent hours, I would also generally have more hours. So then it's, you know, the trade-offs, like, you know, do I just deal with the hours I'm given because of the fact that, you know, I do also, I'm working less hours than I would be at a full-time job, but I have less time. Like, it's just about the, you know, either way, like, there's downsides and upsides either way. I just kind of going with what works the best. Plus, on the other hand, I also don't want to have to find a new job. Whatever issues I may have with my job, like, it's a better job than my previous jobs, and so, you know, there's always that risk if I go find another job that it just ends up being worse and such. And also it requires me to actually go out and, you know, find a new job, which I hate like applying for jobs. It's such a tedious thing that I'm not very good at. I'm clearly okay with tedious stuff, Like, here I'm buying... Spent the last, like... over an hour and a half buying turnips and such. And clearly like tedious stuff. But tedious stuff that I'm good at. If it's tedious and I'm not good at it, it's like, not fun. That's it, because I'm not good at applying for jobs. I'm not good at interviewing. Because, like, if you look at the jobs that I've had, first two jobs I got were because somebody that I knew at the place had recommended me. Third and current job at a grocery store were also, like, you know, I was essentially hired without... Basically, like, I was called in for an interview, but then I was talked to as if I already had the job, so it was like, okay. Because, I mean, with grocery stores, pretty much just like, oh yeah, they need to hire people, so they'll just hire a ton of people every however often to fill in, you know, holes as other people leave. Because that's the thing with, you know, places like that. They want to have, like, a large turnover rate because they want, you know, because, well, with new people, they don't have to pay them as much. Because, like, at the store I work, like, we get a guaranteed raise every certain number of hours worked and such. Which, up to a certain, there's a certain max, and then you just get a certain raise once a year or something, I think, but like, with new people, you know, they're starting them at the bottom, so they don't have to pay them as much. So they're perfectly okay with, you know, overworking people until they can't stand it anymore and just quit, and then just hire new people to replace them that they don't have to pay as much. And of course, the problem with this is constantly, you know, have a lot of workers that, you know, have no idea what they're doing because you keep, you know, running off all the people that know what they're doing. You know, you keep, you know, and I mean, and of course, related to that though, the people that do stick around, they know, okay, well, they're willing to put up with this kind of crap, so they can keep, you know, doing that, but it is what it is. On the other hand, though, as you work at a place longer, you also learn what you can and can't get away with. Oh, I forgot to mark down which acre that was. We'll do that as we run through it. Because when you first start a job, it's just like, okay, here's all the rules. And as you work longer, you realize, okay, this rule nobody actually cares about. This rule you actually have to break, or otherwise they're going to get mad at you for not doing your work fast enough. It's like, yeah, you have to follow the... It's like, here's the rules. But if you follow them, we're going to complain that you're not working hard enough. And it's like, what? That's like... That's my experience. I mean, I've worked 3 places. So I can't speak for all workplaces, but my experience, that's what it is. It's like, okay. It's like, following all the rules, this will take you, you know, 4 hours. We need it done in 3. So, you know, is what it is. Okay, D4, that's one we already marked down. It was C4 that we didn't mark down yet. Oh, and she's in D4 again. Which, yeah, we have enough room for more turnips in this acre, so awesome. And yeah, C4 was the other one. Let's just mark that down. So that's when we're selling them during the week. We'll start with F4, then D4, C4, and B5. Okay. Let's drop So we found her, which means we're no longer in any kind of rush, because this is the final set of turnips we'll be buying. So with this one, we just need to, as long as we don't leave the acre, we're good until we run out of money. Okay. Yes. Only I could, make money this easy in real life, so I wouldn't need to work another job. Just spend my Sundays buying turnips from a traveling warthog and sell them to a raccoon during the week. That'd be the life. That would be the life. Unfortunately, I don't know any traveling warthogs selling turnips. I'm gonna say no comment on whether or not I know any raccoons that run a store. Okay. I mean, who amongst us doesn't know a raccoon that runs a store? In real life, I mean, obviously we all know Tom Nook and Joan here in the game. Well, maybe not everyone knows Joan. If you're only game Animal Crossing you've played is New Horizons, you know Joan's granddaughter, I believe it is. I'm blanking on the name though. Anybody wants to chime in with a name, go right ahead, but I do not remember off the top of my head. Also, if I'm wrong about that character in New Horizons being Joan's granddaughter, you can chime in on that as well. Which, if you chime in on that, you can, potentially get to prove me wrong on a thing, which doesn't happen very often. Okay, I think we're going to run these actually along. Yeah. The edge here. For whatever reason, I didn't start right up along the edge when I was doing this before. And I don't know why. Well, no, I kind of know why. Just because I didn't want to risk accidentally getting too close to the edge and scrolling over to the next acre and Joan disappearing. You have Joan. Here we go. No, Joan, you don't just walk over to my money like that. You can't just go pick up the money. You gotta, exchange the turnips for my money. That's the rules. That's how it goes. Yeah. Okay. I'm curious to see exactly what date I'll finish 100%ing this game on, because like I said, minimum is August 12th of next year, so I can get the telescope, I believe, is what I get during the meteor shower. So on August 12th, I missed that this year, but I haven't missed anything since then. Got all, any and all events past that in August, everything in September, everything in October, everything so far in November. Yeah, so I just need to keep going, getting everything in November, December, and then next year getting everything that I missed this past January through August. And then, so gotten everything from the events, then it's just a matter of, filling in the few remaining things, beating the NES game, or 100% the NES games and such. Yeah, and eventually. Wait, we have the rock there. So I want to go on here. And one here. And one here. And one here. We want to make sure to still leave space around the rock, though. That's important. Rock likes his personal space. 3 bags. Okay. And I wonder what also the final thing I will get or do to reach 100% will be. Because I think it'll probably be one of the NES games. Although which one, I could not say. I mean, I'm gonna guess it'll be Super Mario Bros. Legend of Zelda, just because of the fact that I don't even know yet how I'm gonna be getting those. Between them, I'm gonna say Super Mario Bros. That's gonna be my current prediction. The last thing I will do to finish 100%ing Animal Crossing for the GameCube is 100%ing Super Mario Bros. Within it. Yeah, that's my prediction. Now, as we get more and more stuff done, we'll see if that ends up being the case. Anyone else have a prediction as to what you think the last thing I'll do to finish 100%ing this game will be? Or last thing I'll do and or get? Because... I mean, there's also a lot of options. Like any of the NES games are. I mean, any NES games are a good bet. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is not a good bet for the final thing. Moonfight is not a good bet for the final thing. Baseball could be. Clu Land is not. Clu Land is actually a very bad one, just because I'm not really working on Clu Land D until I finish Clu Land. So Clu Land D would be a good bet, but not Clu Land. Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Jr. would be good bets. Donkey Kong 3 still decent, but not as good. Excite Bike maybe. Golf maybe. Yeah, most of them, like, honestly, would be decent guesses. Yeah, also, though, getting the post office model from maxing out my savings account, that's another good guess. I think the outfits from Gracie, honestly, or even not even just from Gracie, but from either of the Winter 2 outfits I need. Technically, like, because if the RNG is just bad, I just don't get what I need. Doesn't matter, like, not much else really matters. Okay. No. Because I can play all I want, but if the RNG just screws me over. I mean, the RNG would really have to screw me over, like, really bad for, like, a long enough period of time. That's not likely. Like, the 2 winter outfits at least are not likely. Because we've gotten literally all of, like, the year... For the standard clothing, we've got all the year-round stuff. We've got all the spring stuff. We've got all the summer stuff. We've got all the fall stuff. We're only missing 2 of the winter ones. So, like, honestly, it shouldn't be too bad. Gracie stuff, that's a bit more sketchy, but I'm sure eventually we will succeed. That's really all the outfits we're still missing. 2 winter outfits, 7 Gracie outfits for a total of 9. Which is not at all bad. We are really close on that aspect. And yeah. Oh no, there's also the jingle shirt, right? Yeah, because it's 10 that we're missing, because it's also the jingle shirt, which we get from... That's just a matter of getting that from Jingle on Christmas Eve. So that one isn't going to be... Oh, I'm still doing... Oops. Still doing this. So that's, yeah. So that's fine. So actually, earlier I think I said, at one point, said that, like way earlier, I said, made a comment about how clothing we could finish as soon as, like November 27th, 28th, whenever the winter clothing becomes available. But no, clothing earliest we can finish is December 24th, Christmas Eve, because that's when we get the jingle shirt. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And once we're done with everything, with every step, every time we complete something, we just get that much closer. But also, it gets, you know, progress has slowed down quite a bit from what it used to be. Like, you know, early game, we were getting new stuff constantly. Now it's like, okay, we still have, like, it's not like, you know, obviously Halloween we got a bunch of stuff. Harvest Festival we got a bunch of stuff. Christmas Eve we got a bunch of stuff. Otherwise, it's like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. Slowly, slowly filling up and finishing everything off. 12 o'clock. So as of right now, once we leave this acre, Joan will disappear. Unless, like, if she's right at the edge of the acre so we can still see her, she won't disappear until she's actually out of view, but... yeah. So once we leave this acre and can see Joan, she'll disappear. But as long as we stay in the acre, we can continue buying from her until we run out of money. Or theoretically, if we run out of space for putting stuff, but that's not going to happen. We still have plenty of room here. While this is an acre that is split by the cliff, the amount that's split is still largely favoring this top bit. So, perfectly fine. Also, one second, I just noticed I have a Discord notification. No. Doesn't matter at the moment. Okay. Just saw somebody going live notification. Should give us an option for who we might raid later when we're done, but that's still a little bit away because after this we still have to do. We're almost done with the turnips, and then we still have a couple things to do. We'll see if we decide to do a round of balloon fight yet today. I'm trying to do that most days, but I know traditionally I've often skipped on days when I buy turnips. Or days when I sell turnips. But we'll see. We need to remember to grab this after my gyroid with Samantha after I'm done with Rick here. I forgot to do that yesterday. We have a bunch of stuff for Samantha yet, but most of it's in the basement still. You can only fit 4 things in the gyroid at a time. Okay. Plus, we don't want to go too much longer because I'm starting to get hungry for some lunch. I did have breakfast today. I had a bowl of cereal with milk for breakfast, so you know, I was actually responsible. I know, big surprise. Eric being irresponsible in that way. But obviously, there's a lot of areas where I am, like, you know, fairly responsible. But you know, in making sure I'm eating properly, generally that's not one of those areas. My own health and well-being is not an area where I'm particularly responsible. Hey Lou, welcome in. Breakfast is good, yes. When it comes to budgeting, I'm very responsible. But that's an area, because budgeting is something that comes just easily to me. Actually, I'm going to grab that out of there, because that's going to get in the way otherwise when we're hitting that rock. Yeah, how's it going today, Lou? How are you doing? Can we drop one right here? Yes. Can we drop one right here? Yes. Okay. Okay, the final bit of turnips we're going to be buying. As soon as we run out of money, we are done here. Good, have ice cream. Oh, ice cream cake. Now I want ice cream cake. Ken, you should buy an ice cream cake. Ken's my roommate, for anyone wondering who I'm talking to. You have Animal Crossing here, just dandy. Nice. Okay. Hey, Rainbow Squirrel! Heard ice cream cake and here you are. Yeah. I mean, if I had an ice cream cake and, you know, you weren't, like, so far away, I would definitely share. I'm sure Lou would share with us if we weren't so far away from him. You've never had one. Oh, that's sad. Are they not a thing over there, or have you just never had one? Just even if they are a thing, because obviously, just because something is in your area doesn't mean you have had it. For sure, they aren't really a thing in the UK. Okay, okay. Well, if you ever come visit me, we will get an ice cream cake. That is my promise to you. I'm not expecting you to ever come visit me, but if you were to, you know, we'll get an ice cream cake. Almost done here, Joan. I really wish they had like a counter on screen, like of how what your wallet is when you're doing this. Okay. So I knew how close I was to completion. So how's your day going, Rainbow Squirrel? How are you doing today? Okay. You nearly had one for your birthday a few years ago, but I suppose it didn't work out, as you said nearly. Okay, there we go. Done buying turnips. Yeah, years ago when I had, like, you know, we had a group of friends that would meet regularly for, like, game night every Friday. Generally when it was somebody's birthday, they'd bring an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. And occasionally other times as well, just somebody, unless people just felt like, hey, I want an ice cream cake. But yeah. I haven't had one in a while, though. Well, no, I've had one, well, sometime within the last year. Or a bit part of one. There was at some point where my roommate had brought one and it was just like, hey, you can finish it off or something. Don't remember. That was still a while ago, months ago. Maybe his birthday. Don't remember for sure. Good, mostly did chores and cooked. Have the night off to chill. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so we've done... We're done with that. Then what we're going to do... Oh wait, I just thought of something. We can actually get more carpets for Jake's basement right now, because we still need from Sahara the basement floor, boxing ring mat, chessboard rug, office flooring, sand garden, sidewalk, tropical floor. But we have Sahara in town right now, so we could actually grab those. But we also have... Okay, what we're going to do... Yeah, what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to go and... update my percentage numbers. So furniture should now be 541. And it is 541. Is that going to be an increase in percentage? I feel like it's not. Because I feel like even at 540, we weren't technically actually at 90, it just rounded off to 90. So 541 divided by 601 equals, yeah, 90% still. But hey, we only have 60 pieces of furniture left to collect. Okay, everything else I think shouldn't have gone up. So wallpaper should still be 65, correct. Carpet 65, correct. Clothing 237, yes. Items 56. Stationery 62. All 127 gyroids. All 25 fossils. And 27 on music. That's all accurate. I should also close the calculator. I don't need it again. Okay, then we're going to finish off the list of gyroids for figuring out the layout we want in Jonathan's house. So let me bring up that list. So we're going to need to add to that list. I know it's so small you can't actually read it, but it is what it is. So let's go to the bottom. We're up to, I think, 100 is what we got listed, so we'll just finish off Tall Puffoid. Oh, I actually made a mistake here. Luckily I caught it, but that shouldn't be a regular Puffoid, that should be a Tall Puffoid. Okay. Then, Lullaboids, we have 4. Let's copy and paste Lullaboid 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have regular, yes. Mega, mini, tall. Percoloids, we just have 2. Percoloid. So that's mega and tall. Sproid. We have 4. Sproid. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the regular, mega, mini, tall. Rhythmoid, there's just 2. R-H-Y-T. Rhythm is a word that I always have trouble remembering how to spell. Such a weird one. So there's the regular and the mini. Umbloids. We have 4. Umbloid. I love the gyro names, they're just so fun to say. 2, 3, 4. So it's regular, then mega, mini, and tall. Bovoids, just 2. Which is the mega and the tall. Sputnoid, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Regular, mega. Oh. Okay, you can't really sound it like, yeah. Collect 5 of the new gyroids and New Horizons so far. Nice. Do you know how many there are in there? And Quasoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Quasoid 2, 3, 4, 5. So the regular, mega, mini, slim, and tall. Okay, so we've listed all of them out. Let's resize that. It's still going to be too small to read, but at least. Now, to confirm that I didn't miss any, I still made mistakes in typing, but I'm going to copy and paste copy that, and then, yeah, that's the list of all of them that I just made. And then I'm going to go find a line counter just to confirm that I didn't miss any. Should be 127. 127, perfect. I didn't miss any. Still possible I made a mistake. I mean, we saw a mistake that I made right at the beginning there, but yeah. Not sure, but you've not finished the museum yet, so you have a lot of stuff to complete. Ah, yeah. Do gyros go in the museum in there? That's interesting, if so. Okay, so that's done. We won't worry about actually going and organizing them at the moment. That'll be a future Eric's problem. We have that list made now and completed. Also, I'm gonna, 1 second. I feel like game audio is a little delayed again. There we go. New Horizons has 35 gyro families with customization options, got a total of 189. Okay, that's not even, like, it's 127 in this game, so it's more than that, but, like, not as, like, you know, much more as, you know, some of the other stuff, like how much more stuff some of the other stuff is. Don't think so, but they introduced them as being related to Brewster, so it'd be nice to have them in the museum. Okay. Interesting. Grab my stuff again. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Butterfly, honeybee, tile. Butterfly in the sky. I fly twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. Okay, and then we need to go withdraw a bit of money to put my money back at 30,000. It feels weird withdrawing. I mean, I've already been withdrawing money for buying the turnips, but you know, normally at the end of stream, I'm depositing money. Well, I mean, not at the end of stream. When I'm nearing the end of playing as Rick minus. I mean, well, actually, even more frequently, I'm actually doing it even sooner if I just know I'm done with spending money. Okay, 30,000. Excellent. It's a bit different than this game because this game treats like 100 something unique objects. In New Horizons, there are 35 objects in many different colors. Okay, okay. Oh, in different colors, yeah. Because in this one, each like family, it's the same like colors and design. It's just like the size and shape. Because it's like, you know, it's like tall, slim, you know, mini, mega, like it's just size variations. Stout, wee. Okay, yeah, we are gonna do a round of balloon fight, I think. Need to keep up our skills with that. And see how we can do. And then after this, we're going to switch over to Samantha to grab stuff out of Rick's gyroid. And then we're going to switch over to Jake to grab some more wallpaper or carpets for his basement from Sahara. Yeah, that's the plan. So we're at a 3-hour mark of stream, and it's going to be a bit longer yet. So that's nice. Especially after how often we've had canceled streams as of late. It's nice to have a stream that was, you know, 20 minutes late to start, but, you know, only 20 minutes late to start. But then also going a bit longer than, you know, scheduled for. Perfect. That's what I like to see on these bonus rounds. Gotcha. Phase 5. Well. That's not something I should have done. I should not be losing my balloon this early. Now, I mean, obviously, once I beat this one and, well, let's watch. Let's watch that lightning there. Once I beat this one and the next one, I'll get my balloon back on the bonus round, but still shouldn't be needing to rely on getting my balloon back in the bonus round this early. I should just be not getting hit this early. But there we go. Balloon back. Got my balloon back ribs. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, well, this is looking like it's going to be another perfect. Well, maybe not. No, it is. A bit of trickiness there, but we still managed to pull through. As we often do. 'Cause I know this game like the back of my hand. But like my left hand, the one I look at not quite as often as my right hand. I don't know, I should know. The fact that I'm right-handed doesn't mean I look at my right hand more. But maybe I do. I don't know. I'm just spouting nonsense. Ooh, let's... No lightning? No lightning at the moment. There we go. Phase 9. Gotcha. And another bonus round already. Bonus round after every third phase, which when you lose a balloon, like, and you know, on a phase like where you not kind of the one where you have the bonus round next, like it just feels like it's such a long time. But other times it's just like, oh yeah, it's another bonus round already. I really do like that they have that as a thing where if you lose your balloon, as long as you don't die or whatever, you know, if you're on one balloon when you get to the bonus round, you get a second balloon back. I really like that because it does definitely make the game a lot more forgiving than it otherwise would be. And considering it does still have like a lot of difficulty, especially as you get further in and the game speeds up more and more. It's really nice to have that bit of forgiveness. That one's going a little... Can I eat my fish? Phase 12. Good stuff. And another bonus round again. Another perfect, I think. Yes, another perfect. I didn't need to be careful about not calling that too soon, because I had a word I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be another perfect, and then all of a sudden, Dane's like, oh, you think that, do you? Well, what are you gonna do with this? And then just does something like where it's like, does the back and forth between like two of the pipes that are not like next to each other. That's always rough when that happens. But, you know, just gotta keep at it. Keep getting better. Until eventually... And I'm getting perfects on all the bonus rounds is not part of my requirement for 100% or anything. Let's back it off. But it is a nice... It's a nice bonus. Getting perfects on the bonus rounds is a nice bonus. The fact that I did not lose a balloon there is, quite frankly, amazing. The fact that I did not die there, that... Oh, that lightning was way too close for comfort. Oh, another bonus round. And another perfect. We got this. Phase 16. Gotcha, gotcha. Phase 17. Take a breather. Okay. Oh, where's the lightning going? Okay. Phase 18. Gotcha. Nice. Another bonus round. Another perfect. We are moving, we are grooving. We're going strong. Phase 19. Lightning's going over there. Okay, going to get eaten by a fish. Just let him get eaten. Phase 20. Fleeing the one lightning and went into the other. Oof. That time I'd been a little off. That lightning would have killed me right as I was spawning. I would have died twice in one go with the second death. Nothing I could have done about it. But the first death, there was something I could have done. I could have played better. Not to have that first death. Oh. Okay. So definitely not my, one of my better showings. Oh. Definitely not one of my better showings. But we still got in a session of that, which is important. Okay, actually, let's, switch to Samantha now. Okay. So we're done with Rick for today. I can play a little bit Samantha and a little bit as Jake. So along with Slicer we already played as, that means we're playing a little bit with each of my 4 characters in my main town today. Not playing with my characters in my other town though. Samantha. Oh yeah, the fish attorney. Completely forgot about that. Every time I start up, I instinctively check if there's any new villagers, even if I know logically there shouldn't be. Because I was wrong fairly recently about some of the mechanics. October 12th, that was a while ago. October 28th, that was also less of a while ago. Still, what happened? HRA hates my house, but that will change soon. 20th, yeah, okay. What was I saying? Check items. Okay, so now we can start on decorating this house. Just need to squish this cockroach first. There we go. So, put on wall. Nice, nice. What do we have? Jack-o'-lantern, spooky table, spooky sofa. I'm thinking the sofa over here. And the table like in the center. And then Jack-o'-lantern, I think we'll right now put right over here. We might move that later. No, we can't light up the eyes. Okay. So this place is starting to come around. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking the phonograph definitely was a good option. It's gonna fit in with the spooky series. Okay, so that's all. Ancient Wall we should have in the basement. I'm just going to confirm that, but then I think we're just going to go sell. Yeah, this one. And then, yeah. So tomorrow when we play as Rick, we'll put another 4 things from the spooky series into the gyroid, and we'll just like get all that stuff transferred over to Samantha. 4 things per day. And once we've got it all done, then yeah. Then we'll see what Samantha's HRA score ends up being at that point. But, yeah, so that's it for Samantha. Oh, we also still need a lunar surface for Samantha. Okay. For her upstairs. Which is a carpet, so that's what we get from Sahara. So, right now we're going to be playing as Jake and trying to get some carpets, but just keep in mind, Eric, that... Oh, that's the wrong list. Jake, there we go. Keep in mind that that's also, the Lunar Horizon is also one we need to grab. So if we get that as an option, then grab that and just put in the gyroid so we can pick that up with Samantha as well tomorrow. Yes, I know the fishing tourney. The fishing tourney began hours ago. How much mail does he have? Okay, same amount. I mean, yeah, I guess Samantha and Jake often, because if like I have something like when I have like Gracie visiting town and I need to, you know, do stuff with 2 additional characters, I'm gonna go with those 2, or have the phone sound. But now because I'm often playing a Slicer once per day anyway, I go with Slicer. But yeah, okay, so. I think what we're just going to do is we're just going to buy all 3 carpets here, and then that way we can get 3 from, I don't need to actually need to see it. That way we can get 3 from, Sahara. And yeah, that'll work out quite nicely, I think. Kitty carpet. We just need to make sure we don't... We just need to be careful when we're doing this that we don't accidentally... if we get one of the ones we need from Sahara, we don't... Okay, we'll just get rid of those November tickets. Yeah. It's all yours. Yes, 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 we know. Yeah, we just need to make sure once we've got one of the ones we want from Sahara, we don't accidentally go and trade that same one away. I'll probably do... First of all, I'm just going to move... not that one. Move this one over here, so... that space. Probably once I get it, move like the ones I've got from Sahara to the bottom corner. Just to be a bit more on the safe side. And yeah, and money, I think we're good for, because first trade is what, 3,000, second is 6,000, third is 12,000, so we have plenty of money for all three trades. And because we just have the 3 carpets, that's all we're trading. So yeah, we're good to go on that. Respect. Where is Sahara right now? It goes on. D3. Of course, the one that's... Okay, well, we'll check the... She's unlikely to be in this bottom southeast section here, but... Oh, right up there. Figured since we're closest to this section, we'd check it first, even though that is the smallest section, so it's unlikely. I mean, it's possible when we run around, she will be in one of the other sections, because villagers can occasionally teleport when you're in another acre. They can teleport across the river or up or down the cliff. This basically has to do with like the way the characters, like when you're away from it, the way it's stored in memory with the character being in. Oh, right here. Yeah. Okay, so go until we get one of the things we see on the list there, or the Lunar Horizon. Because the way you do it, so it's trading. You want a carpet? Yes, let's trade. Sell you office flooring. See, that's one we need. Give me any carpet, 3,000 bell. Oh, it's 3,000, yes. That's fine. 3,000 was what I said. So, we'll go with the cabana flooring. So we got the office flooring. Okay, I'm not going to remove from my list until I actually go and drop it in the basement, but just I'm going to get rid of the star next to it so that I know it's not what I'm still trying to get. I mean, I should have remembered because it's just like one thing, but you know, my memory is what it is, so now we go with the second one. Let's trade. Sahara's Desert. No. Can you do this? Maybe not. See, that's the thing. You notice the price 6,000 because with each one it doubles. The price doubles. But if you say no, then you can go and do it again, and the price won't double again because it's only when you. Yeah, it's up to a certain point. There's a certain point where it stops doubling. But I'm not sure what it is. Sidewalk. Yes, that's one we still need. Kitty carpet. So it's nice in that. That's why, as long as you have the money and carpets, you can in theory get like every carpet from Sahara in one visit. Now, obviously, as it keeps getting more expensive up to a certain point, it's not exactly necessarily easy to do, but it is doable. Now we'll do the same thing, get rid of this asterisk. Okay, so we can grab one more, and then we're out of carpets. Let's trade. Tropical floor. Yes. Steel floor. Awesome. That was nice and easy. I mean, we still had quite a few that we wanted to get, so it'll be like when we just have like, you know, a handful that we still want, that it'll be like, that it'll be a lot more annoying. But for now, yeah, okay, so now we can go. So, for anyone wondering what I'm doing, is I'm having a complete collection of carpets in his house. Largely in the basement, as you can see. But with 3 exceptions. The one that I have on the floor, and the main floor, and on the floor in the upstairs, and then one other that I just have lying around on the main floor. Okay, so what do we get? We got tropical floor. So that goes right here. Then sidewalk, steel flooring, slate flooring. Yeah, sidewalk goes right here. And then what was the other one? Office flooring. Yep, office goes right here. Okay. And yeah, so we still need, you know, fill in some more holes here. We need the, quite ironically, the basement floor for here. Block flooring, boxing ring mat, chessboard rug, jingle carpet, sand garden, snowman carpet, and spooky carpet. We also technically don't have the harvest rug yet because we'll get the whole harvest series, which we're going to be putting on the main floor in later this month. And then, yeah, upstairs we're good. We still want a different wallpaper for this wall, but that's a separate issue. Okay. So played a bit as all 4 of my characters today. Made some progress with stuff. And, yeah. Had a nice 3.5 hour stream. Not too shabby. And this is not the only stream today. We will be streaming again later. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I guess, yeah, we're now done with that. Oh, actually, I'm going to go right now in my panels, my schedule panel, and change all the cases of CDT to CST, so I don't forget later. I was planning yesterday to do it after stream, and then completely slipped my mind. But yeah, and then we're gonna go raid somebody now, so you'll want to stick around for that. That'd be awesome. Oh, I also need to, I guess, change my thing in Streamlabs to be accurate, because it's right now showing my scheduled times as being an hour off. But that I will do after stream. So right now, let's go find who we want to raid, who is live, and let's see. Who do we want to raid? Could raid somebody playing Little Nightmares. We could raid somebody playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Another person playing New Horizons. going to be playing Cities Skylines. More people playing New Horizons. Yeah, it's going to be one of those games. Let me know in chat if you have a preference for any of those games I just mentioned. Otherwise, I'll decide myself who we're going to go and raid. And yeah, like I said, I'll be back this evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, for SuperQuest Sunday stream playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. And otherwise, my weekday streams will all be 3 p.m. We'll start with Animal Crossing, then usually something else after. So Monday after Animal Crossing will be Blaster Master. Tuesday is just Animal Crossing. Wednesday after Animal Crossing, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Thursday is some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate after Animal Crossing. And Friday, Animal Crossing followed by Adventures of Lolo 2. Next Saturday will be Animal Crossing at probably 8 p.m. It's going to depend because of work, it being going later that day, but we'll see. And next Sunday, Animal Crossing should again be 9 a.m. and fingers crossed actually starting on time, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Squirrel. Always a pleasure. And since nobody seems to have a preference for who we raid, I think we're gonna go and raid one of my Plant Army teammates, Jen Rogue, playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. So sticking with the, series. And yeah, so if y'all want to join me on the raid, that'd be awesome. You can copy and paste the raid message and join in on that raid. And thanks to everyone for coming out today. Those who chatted, those who just lurked, those who hosted. You're all wonderful people. Thank you for hanging out. It's been a blast, and I will see you all later. Let me just make sure I've copied the raid message, and bye!